Speaking of a strong woman, here lately I've been riding with the girls that's been riding on the Can-Ams. And they've been doing a wonderful job. And it reminds me of a story. Storytelling time with Slappy. Yeah, this story, we gonna call her the boss lady. This story's about a boss lady. I had bumped into her. She was a part of a club, a girl, all-girl motorcycle club in Knoxville years ago. And she was one of the few that actually rode. But her story is really, really unique because she joined the club, for the sisterhood, and she liked motorcycles. Didn't have one, didn't have a license. So she took the class and got a motorcycle license. Well, it was about a year after she got the class, if I'm not mistaken, before she got a motorcycle. So she had her own motorcycle. She had her license, but she hadn't ridden a motorcycle since the class. So now here's the part that's really, really unique. So she goes back to take the class again just for reminder course or refresh, to get her back refreshed with the motorcycle thing. I thought that was unique as hell, and somebody that really, really wanted to ride. But she never really had nobody to ride with. Her motorcycle club girls was not riding. So I happened to see her at a car wash that the girls was having. I said, whose bike is this? She said, it's mine. I like, doggone her. How come I hadn't rode with you? And she was like, well, I just don't have your numbers. I said, well, give me your number, and I'm going to put you on my text list. I've been doing this text stuff a long time. So she did. When you're a pretty woman in the motorcycle world, you get a lot of people, a lot of men, let me say, a lot of men would try to shoot at you to try to get your number, just to get your number and try to, shoot their shot. But I generally was, that was my intent to, if you want to ride, you riding a bike, well, I'll put you on the list. So I'll put her on the list. So we're going to take a little ride, just a little country ride, first of the year, around this time of year. And so she texts back, said, I want to go. I said, well, come on. So the whole bunch of us met up. We was going towards Athens, Tennessee. And she had never ridden a motorcycle outside of Knoxville. So this was her first time getting out there on the interstate and just hammering down on it. So she rode with us and did real good. We got down there to a big old bend where a 40 and 75 split and go towards Chattanooga. Well, I go off in that curve. I lean into it. I come out. I look in my mirror. I didn't see nobody. I thought, oh, Lord. Then I'm going slow. I look back. Here she comes. Woo! The rest of the gang coming. So that first initial curve kind of made it bow up a little bit, running about 75, 80 miles an hour. But she did real good on that trip. And she turned out to be one of the best female riders in town, in my opinion. So we had rode to Chattanooga for a motorcycle event. They had a party, or they had it was a field meet where they was out there barbecuing outside in the field and all that. So it was getting late. A couple of the guys from Knoxville were like, what time you gonna leave, Slappy? I said, I'm getting ready to leave now. So he said, we'll ride with you. I said, well, cool. He said, is she riding? He looking at her. I said, yeah. And then he kind of looked at me and was like, well, how fast are you going to go? I said, yeah, man, 75, 80, you know, whatever traffic permits. So he started cutting his eye, you know, at me like, you think that's, you know, kind of fast? And I'm looking at him cutting his eye. Girl, I'm like, oh, you worried about her? I said, man, you ain't got to worry about boss lady. I said, now, she been riding with me. You ain't got to worry about her. We may have to worry about you. But now, this woman right here is ready. But ain't that funny how some men will look at some women and just kind of put them like they might not be on their level. And she's already probably done rode more miles than them and been to more places. So I was going to bike week in Myrtle Beach. And I left a day before everybody. So she decided to come. Well, I gave her the phone number with a couple of people that they was going to come and she could get with them. And she was like, well, you know, what's the directions? So I gave her the directions. Now, these old jackasses, man, been riding bikes for a while. And they done been to Myrtle Beach with me before. And they didn't even know how to get there. So they sitting here following this woman, a rookie. I hear Cyrus following this rookie down there. And she brought him all the way to Myrtle Beach. You know, that was one incident where she followed him, about 7.5 hours from Knoxville to Myrtle Beach. Them guys followed her all the way to Myrtle Beach, rookie now. And we had rode down to Montgomery. We was going to go hang out in Pensacola, Florida. We stopped in Montgomery to go see Wild Bill and his wife. Well, we sitting up there hanging out, and we left out that morning going down. We went down 321 out of Montgomery, Monkey Town. Highway 331 southbound. And we riding, you know, it was kind of like a two-lane. And me and Wild Bill, there was a break in traffic. You know, we was going to pass a couple of cars. So we dropped the gear, went around them cars. But she didn't make it. There was some cars coming, you know, but she couldn't make it. So we was riding quite a ways. And it was curves and all that. So she was still back there behind those cars. So we was riding. So Wild Bill pulls up beside me. He said, hey, man, what about boss lady back there? I said, what about her? She didn't make those cars, man. You know, you want to stop and wait on her? I said, man, she'll be up here in a minute. He said, you don't want to stop and wait? I said, ain't no need to stop and wait now. I said, she'll be up here in a minute. So we just riding down through there, minding our own business. Next thing you know, I can hear that thing coming. She went by us. That mother went by us so fast. I said, you ain't got to worry about boss lady. I said, she got this. He was like, man, boy, she riding that bad boy. She was riding on a ZX6 sport bike. I said, man, her bike is faster than both of ours. If she wanted to run off and leave us, she wouldn't have no problem doing it. So you ain't got to worry about her keeping up. You know, she's going to be there. So we had rode down into Florida and came back, got caught up in a bad rainstorm. My goodness. That damn thing rained so hard, and I was just wearing an old skid lid, a bucket, a non-DOT helmet, and that damn rain come down on us. I'm like, golly. And I'm sitting there doing like this, trying to block the rain from hitting my face and lips. I just had a old German helmet with some glasses. She had a full face helmet. Well, it was raining so bad, I was ready to damn tap out. But I wanted to tap out up under a bridge. And I'm fighting it, you know, I'm down here fighting it, trying to get to where I'm going. I was riding this bike, as a matter of fact. And that's before I had all this stuff done to it. And so I found this great big old bridge on 75 in Chattanooga. So I roll and get up under the bridge, and not knowing that she was behind me, I looked back and she was not behind me. She had enough of that rain too. So she just stopped on the shoulder, right there with nothing covering her, just let the rain just dump on her. I did my hands like, hey, come here, come up here. But so she come up there and got up under that big old bridge, and boy, she didn't say nothing for about 20 minutes. That mug was just mad. You hear me? He was just mad, boy. I'm like, yeah, dog. I said, hey, that's part of riding, though, man. You hate to get caught up in the rain, but, you know, the rain is part of it. So, well, that's my women riding on motorcycles, man. To me, when you ride with women on bikes, women are a lot calmer. They're a lot more sensible to me, and they're not really pushed by egos and testosterones and really want to damn try to prove something, or they don't have that in their blood. They want to race all the time. So women riders are fun to ride to me because they're not really picky, when it comes to a real woman rider. Now you get some of them women that ride on the back, now they got all kinds of shit to say. They don't want to eat this, they don't want to eat that. They gotta have, we don't want to go that way. And my motto is, and not to be funny with nobody, but I tell anybody, if your old lady ride with us, those that ride decide. Now what you mean? Those that ride decide. If you are out here riding and you got your hands on the handlebar and you riding with me, you got a voice. If you are on the back, and if you're on the back riding with somebody, you don't get to vote. Now, not to be mean, but we the one out here sweat, blood, and tears and got to roll. You back there enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? So that's the motto, and that goes to women riders of all kinds. It's just that if you're on the back, we just don't want to, your perspective of what we need to do or where we need to go is not going to be realistic to a person that's a rider. So that's where that comes into play. Let those that ride decide, and we need to get the boss lady back out here. Get her back out here doing some riding. I'd love to get that interview with her and let her tell the story of why she got into it and, what kind of enjoyment she got out of riding. And, all right. That's the boss lady story. Peace.
Hey, stay tuned for more videos like these.